Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Yankees Center podcast, and we are here to finally talk about baseball. It's back, baby. We're in spring training, and we're a day away from the first game, which is absolutely insane. Man, I'm excited. Guys, how you doing?
I'm well. Uh, I'm just doing my thing, waiting for tomorrow's game. It is it was supposed to be today, but then they rearranged the schedule and made it tomorrow, which is kind of sad, but whatever. I can wait an extra day. But other than that, I'm well. I'm just ready to get the season started because I'm bored.
Yeah,
Yep.
Eddie.
I'm with you guys, and I've been thinking, I hated summer camp. It was just weird, and this is the real preseason, okay? It's always spring training, so can't wait for a nice game tomorrow. 7 innings, which is a little different, but you know what? Again, 1 inning, one batter. I'll take whatever we can get at this point. Yankees baseball is back, and I can't wait.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man, it's so exciting, and it's been since last episode. A lot has happened. There's been a lot to discuss, but I just want to knock out the topic we don't want to talk about right off the bat because I think it's something we kind of have to discuss, and that is Domingo Herman, because there has been a lot of drama there,
a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
and obviously we all know the story, except the difference is now since then more information comes to light with the domestic violence, and that information is that we all knew that he slapped his girlfriend at a gala, but apparently what ended up happening is they and she went to a Yankee player's house, right, to kind of get away from him in the end, and he kind of just tried to keep fighting this. He was drunk, he was angry, and it was just a whole mess. And obviously,
hmm
action was needed, which is why he got suspended. And the question now is, does he have a place on this team? Because his teammates, while being supportive as teammates, I don't think they really believe in him as a person anymore. So it's a really immoral question there. I don't know how this is going to play out, honestly. It's a very unique situation.
Yep. I guess I'll start. Yeah, obviously we know what we did. What he did was awful, but with guys like Chapman, obviously you're not going to be like completely forgiven. That's not something you just say, okay, you did it, we forget about it. Like that's going to be remembered, but I feel like you can do your best to really like try and get these guys to forgive you. But I mean, Herman didn't reach out, and I understand why guys like Britton would be upset with this. And then it's just a whole off the field distraction that was created. It's not good. Apparently, Herman addressed the team, but I still don't think we've seen the end of this, to be honest. I don't think there's going to be any, public airing anymore. I'm sure that's
Mhm.
probably over, but I mean, you got to imagine there's got to be some sort of tension in that clubhouse.
Oh, it's been made clear already. The tension is high, and I'm honestly expecting him. Well, I'm not gonna say I expect him to be traded because I know how Cashman is. He's only gonna trade him if a deal makes sense still, and that's the reality of it. And they're not gonna trade him for nothing because that's just the way Cashman operates. So my guess is I don't think he's gonna start the year with the major league team. Honestly, at this point, I could be wrong. I said he was gonna be the number 5 starter. But with all the drama, I would not be shocked just to see him start in AAA and let things kind of quote unquote cool off, even though realistically it's not truly going to ever cool off.
It'll never cool off from like an outside perspective.
More
It
of a
makes
media perspective that they mean
yeah,
cooling off. Yeah.
yeah, but like in terms of the clubhouse, I think once they're in the season, they're gonna be so focused on, their jobs that Domingo won't really be a distraction unless he does things like on social media that, create a distraction. And he's done that a few times over the past year or so. And so that is that's like what are you doing? You just got suspended the whole year and you are on social media, and remember he had that little like Jeep accident as well and down in I believe it was in the Dominican. Remember he had like a little car accident as well. And it's just like, and his social media activity has been so stupid. He acts like a teenage girl on social media, and it's like, dude, you're 28 years old. You're gonna be 29. Uh, you know, if this guy was like 21, like the age that like Clint was when he was, making a mess on social media, you could kind of
Oof.
say, you could kind of like be like, oh, he's just young, he's just being that on social media. But Domingo Herman's 28 with a domestic violence suspension. Okay, so shut up, shut up, and really think about what you're doing and what you did. There's a reason why you're on social media and not playing baseball right now. It's because you fucked it up. It's because you did something pretty terrible. That's on you, man. And, initially I was with you. I agreed that he should be. I agreed that I thought he would be the fifth starter. But at this point, I'm actually more comfortable sending Domingo to AAA and having Davey start the season as the fifth starter, and just not having, that on the team right now. Just
Mhm.
just until we absolutely need
Yeah.
in case of in like an emergency. That's like the only way I want Domingo brought up within like the first month of the season.
Absolutely. And that's kind of where I'm at with this. We don't need Herman in the rotation at all. We built up all this depth for a reason. We don't need to go to him right now. And Davy Garcia already should be ahead in the pecking order, objectively speaking. The only reason why I ever thought he wouldn't start in the rotation is just for service time reasons. But I'm
And
gonna be
innings
honest.
limit. You want to limit
Well,
the innings.
that too. But I think they're going to go with a six-man rotation anyway, in part. So I wouldn't be shocked if, even if he's in the rotation, I think he's still going to get limited outings in the end. But regardless, I just don't see any reason why he should not be the fifth starter at this point, because he's earned it. And as long as he looks good in spring training, which I think he will, let him have it, because that kid has confidence like no other, honestly. You can't teach that kind of level of competitiveness. He's just, that guy's a gamer on the mound, man. I'm looking forward to seeing more of him in 2021.
He reminds me of me in Little League, honestly.
Tom, I don't want to hear about you in Little League anymore. I don't need it. I don't want it.
Won the championship.
Were you like the five starter?
No, I actually started both playoff games.
I don't believe you.
I can actually verify that, but we'll do that later. But yes.
So yeah, we don't need to talk too much about Herman though. We can get to the more fun topics of spring training, like Judge fixed his teeth. Now that's news.
Wow, you went from
Always shocking.
you went from domestic violence to Judge fixed his teeth. That is
Yeah,
incredible, switch. But okay.
that's the point. That's
Yep.
the point, baby. Look at Judge, man. Like the gap is gone. He's looking good, and I think we got to be honest. This is one of the most attractive men in baseball. I'm gotta be honest there.
No, not gonna comment on that, but
Oh, come on. We
think,
got to be honest on this one. He's a good-looking dude. The only thing holding him back ever was the gap, but that's gone now. His teeth are gorgeous.
I agree. He looks great.
I agree too.
Good
Will
for
that
him.
help him? Will that help him stay healthy?
Oh, I'm telling you right now, everyone has said this. If he struggles and he gets hurt, everyone's going to say he should have spent more time doing yoga and practicing than getting his teeth fixed.
Yeah, that's the Giancarlo Stanton shouldn't be lifting supermodels. Should have been doing yoga instead of lifting supermodels. Yeah.
Well, he's been doing yoga, so can't say that now.
Yeah, both of them do yoga.
Yes, both of them, with the new model put in by Cressy for the off-season workouts, which is great because last off-season he didn't really have a true chance to implement it, and Cashman even said that during the season, and now it's going to be a full off season that we had of all these guys going under a new training protocol. So I'm interested to see how that translates into the season. Are we going to see healthier guys? I'm really hoping so, because that has been one of the many things that has held this team back from winning a World Series. And if they're healthy, I think the sky is the limit for them. I don't see much getting in the way, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Also, this is a big year for Judge to stay healthy, because if he does stay healthy and plays
extension talks,
we get to talk about that extension that he wants. So,
and I would love it. Again, I always say, make me have those talks with you, because I want to extend them so bad, but I just realistically can't justify it yet.
Yes. Well, just stay healthy.
Stay healthy, please.
Yeah.
Please. I mean, same thing's we're gonna have that same talk with Glaber eventually too. I mean, I'm sure he was looking at that Tatis deal and drooling, thinking if he can just improve his defense up to average or a little bit better, and he gets the offensive numbers back to what they were in 2019, he's gonna get one hell of a deal, man. He's not gonna get a deal that big, but he's gonna get a sizable deal that will definitely come in the near future, man. Because I think Yankees would want to lock him up pretty quick if they can.
Yeah. I'm feeling the Glaber defensive improvement this year. I'm just feeling it. Like,
me too.
I feel like he's really gonna work hard. He seems like he's upset about not only and at the plate too. He even said he's upset with the results last year. First of all, I'm not worried even in the slightest bit about him at the plate. I think he's gonna be totally fine. But I don't think he's ever gonna be, as we said, not a Gold Glove, but I think he can get to, above average maybe.
I'll say this: he looks quicker. He looks quicker right now, according to people that have been watching him. He lost a little bit of weight, and I don't think, like everyone said, he came into camp out of shape last year for summer camp, not the first spring training. But I don't think that was due to laziness, though. I think it was just a mix-up, and the whole routine was so weird, and he didn't know if he was even going to play that season, honestly, with the way things were looking at one point with the negotiations. But the reality is, it's a fresh year now. He's been working all off season, and this kid has a good work ethic, and I just don't see him struggling like he did in 2020 at all. On both sides of the ball, I'd be shocked. So I'm hoping for a big season from Glaber, because a big season from Glaber would really make the infield defense look pretty solid.
Hashtag in shape Glaber.
Yeah, and even first base. I mean, I don't look at Voit and think, oh, he's freaking horrible.
The bat makes up for whatever glove deficiencies.
I mean, he's improved. Like, there's no denying it. From when we first got him, he is improved at first base. Like, he's not that far away from being an average first baseman, and I've heard he looks even better this spring. So, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if he takes another step forward, because this is a guy that just keeps working to improve, man. I mean, the Yankees got a lot of guys on this team that I look at them and I just say, their ceiling is so high. And, like, it's just so fun to dream about what all these guys could do and what this team can do if just half of them can reach their full potential in 2021, man. It's really nuts.
I like baseball.
I like baseball, too. It's why I'm here talking to you.
Yeah.
I agree.
And really, the big question that I think we're all want to have an answer to right now is, what is the deal with the roster? Because there's more competitions this year than any of the previous years, honestly, in general, because we have a competition for the bench for sure, which is going to be competition for the fifth starter, and we have quite a couple bullpen spots that could honestly go to quite a few people. I'm not even sure who's going to be outside of the top five off the top of my head, so it's going to be pretty interesting. And of course, we got to keep in mind, too, there's at least a chance that they go to a three-man bench. Please don't. And that would definitely really cause some issues on the roster, because right now they have Higgy, who's definitely going to be on the roster. They have Gardner guaranteed for the roster, and they'd only have one more spot left. And that's with Jay Bruce, Derek Dietrich, Mike Talkman. I mean, it's a long list of guys. I don't know what they're going to do, honestly.
Don't forget Tyler Wade.
And Tyler Wade, he has to make the roster. He has to make the roster.
Tyler Wade is a legend.
He is a legend.
Yeah.
Never thought a legend was a good thing, though.
It lost Greg Allen too. I'm upset about that.
Oh, that's hard.
That's a
That
big
hurts.
loss.
That's a
Yeah.
huge loss.
Honestly, it's going to be the bench it's really interesting because I feel like last year going into 2020 and maybe into the spring training, we all had high hopes for Tuchman, and then
Oh yeah.
I don't know what happens. The fastball was apparently like just something he's never seen before. It was a very odd showing from him last
He
season,
said
and
he needed to tighten up his bat path.
Yes, correct.
yeah, he definitely needed to fix something because that was not good.
He
And
also had a shoulder injury.
oh, okay,
Yeah.
I didn't even hear that, to be honest.
I'm gonna be honest. I went into the offseason saying that I don't want Gardner back because I think Talkman is going to bounce back. And I still think he is, honestly. Whether that's here or somewhere else, I
Right.
think Talkman is going to be a good player. I'm not sure how good, but I don't see him as a lower than 700 OPS guy like we saw that can't hit fastballs. I don't think that's Mike Talkman. So I think that after a year of working things out in a regular spring training, I expect to see a very different player. And honestly, I would love to see him make the team. I just don't think it works, unfortunately,
I
with
agree.
Gardner.
I think
If
he's
he
the odd
had
man out.
options, yeah, if he had options, I would say don't even think about trading him because once Guardy's gone, you're going to need a backup outfielder anyway. So just keep
Right.
him until then. But you just can't. He has no options. So I think the Yankees are kind of screwed with him right now. They don't really have much
Yeah.
of a choice unless they the one interesting thing we did here today, Talkman has actually been saying he is open to working at first base. I have no idea how. He said he used to play there in college. I have no idea how that would look. But if he could actually play first base at a semi-average level, I mean, it
Right.
would at least change the conversation quite a bit. I would say that
The
because that's the
next
one
Cody
thing he
Bellinger.
lacked. I mean, that would be pretty awesome. I'm not gonna lie because if he can play first base and the bat looks good, I'm all in on him making the roster. Gonna be honest, I'm all in on that.
And
'Cause
then we
what
have
makes him
first
from Jay
base
Bruce?
and outfield
Yeah,
depth. Right.
because Jay Bruce is the same thing. He's a guy that plays outfield and he happens to be able to play some first base, which is what's giving him a leg up over someone like Talkman. But if Talkman plays first
Yeah.
base, then I think Talkman easily has the leg up because of his higher ceiling.
Elite defense can play center field as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of value that guys like Bruce just can't provide. And Dietrich is the one guy that I like because he can play almost anywhere. But with that said, he's only here for 1 year. Talkman could be here for the next 3 or 4.
Mm-hmm.
True.
I agree. I would do anything in my power to keep talking around. I think, obviously, there an injury will happen, in my opinion. I think there's going to be an injury because there's always a fucking injury.
I mean, that's just the reality of one way or another. People are going to freak out when there's an injury, but injuries always happen in spring training for every team. We already had Clark Schmidt, and that's normal. Injuries do happen, so let's not have a panic attack if a couple injuries happen, especially if it's not major players. Like let's relax.
I'm gonna go crazy. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not. I'm not going to go crazy unless it's like a season-ending type of injury or some crazy shit like that. But we'll see.
I'd say the only injury that would really get me upset is like another like strain, from like Judge or Stanton. That would just like I'd be upset at that
Yeah,
point.
I want
Like
them to
I
stay
want
healthy.
one healthy season.
Like if Voit got hurt,
Like
I wouldn't be that
Right.
mad because he's a guy that I look
Right.
at and I'm like, this guy's very strong. He's usually very healthy, and he doesn't let injuries get to him very much. I mean, look
Yep.
at the last 2 years, he's played through some pretty shitty injuries, dude. Like that is
Yeah.
one tough guy. I mean, I
Foot
respect
stuff.
the hell out of him. Foot stuff is gone.
Foot stuff
Oh
gone.
yeah.
And I think another big storyline that people might be forgetting about is Aaron Hicks, a year removed from Tommy John. I mean, he says
Arm stuff.
he says it's night and day with the way his elbow feels. Like he's throwing full strength again. He feels his powers back, and he's saying he thinks he's going to hit 30 homers this year. And I would love to see it. I really would. But the one thing people do forget with him, health is still a question because he has quite a history of injuries. But who knows? Maybe he puts it together, but I'm going to remain cautious with him. But
Yeah.
I'm optimistic knowing that the elbow's back because we had that with Didi a couple years back too, and you can tell he was off the whole year. I mean, he
Right.
had no power. And same thing happened to Hicks in 2020.
I agree.
Yeah. And Hicks, even last year, which was, I think, a down season for him, his plate discipline was just,
It's as
it
good
was
as it gets.
incredible. Yeah.
It's
He had
as
a
good as it gets.
379 on base percentage. And, I mean, you can't really complain about that. It was not a good year, but, I mean, it's just such an odd year because you can't complain about a 380 on base percentage, but at the
He
same
had a
time, he
full
wasn't
season
hitting,
as well.
Mm.
Aaron
So,
Hicks. He played 54 games.
Oh yeah, he didn't get hurt in
yeah.
2020, but of course it's a
Yeah.
short sample. But it's
His
still nice.
issue was the power. He had a 379 on base, like you just said, 793 OPS with a 121 OPS plus. That's very good. Just that the power got a little sapped. If he got closer to like 10 home runs in those 54 games, I think we would have all been jumping for joy. Because in 59 games in 2019, he hit 12 home runs.
The power doesn't really concern me with him, honestly. I do
Yeah.
fully believe it was just Tommy John.
I
just
agree.
because the fact that we saw it with Didi, literally the exact same thing, makes me feel better about the Hicks situation because we've seen it to a T. It literally couldn't be more similar. So I am just looking forward to seeing him healthy. And I think that, really with him, the only thing I would like to see is some better outfield defense because his defense has been kind of getting worse over the years. And I don't need a special defender, but I would like to see him get a little bit better because he has all the tools. I mean, the guy ain't slow. He's still got a strong arm, despite having a Tommy John last year, of course. But I'm sure his arm is back to full strength now. So and maybe he has to improve his routes. I'm not really sure. I'd have to look more into that. But I think that there is room for improvement with Aaron Hicks. But the plate discipline, though, it really couldn't get much better at all.
Yeah, he's not a great defender. But if he can just be around average defensively, the bat obviously makes up for it. So be better, but also be better. Don't stink. Don't stink in the outfield. And that would be nice.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. Baseball. Yes. Okay.
Baseball.
Yeah.
Well, there are many storylines that have been going on since last time we talked, and I guess another one we can touch on is Luis Severino. I mean, he is going to be throwing on a mound the week after next week, right?
Correct.
Yep.
So that's not really too far off, and I honestly think that he could throw earlier. I think they're taking their time with him just because of what they're doing. Well, what the Mets are doing with Noah Syndergaard, and he had surgery, I think, after Severino, and he's already ahead of him. So I think that they're just being very cautious with him, which is fine. Everyone's different, and I understand that. The last thing you need is to rush Severino back and have him re-injure himself. I mean, that would be a total nightmare. But I think that Severino is going to be an X factor here because if he is even like 75% of what he was in the past, you're getting a number 2 starter, basically. Like, yes. I don't think anyone would question that, right?
Correct. There's a lot of upside in this rotation between, Cole, Kluber, Taillon, Sevy. So, and even the guy like Davey could really make a jump.
Oh, I believe in Davey a lot, man. I mean, even Monty, dude. Like, I'm all in on Monty this year. Like, he's my guy this year. I'm calling it. He's gonna go off.
There's a lot of upside throughout this rotation. So, like, hopefully, like, if we can get like 3 or 4 of these guys to hit. Oh, good Lord.
I mean, it's like Jordan Montgomery I just love him so much because he's 28 years old. He's not even that old. He's 6'6", and he has the best formula for success I can think of. He doesn't walk anybody, and he doesn't give up any hard contact. I mean,
that's a good combo.
That's a pretty good combo. I mean, he had a 5.11 ERA, but I mean, it was a short sample, and his ERA got inflated by some shitty luck. I mean, you look at his expected ERA, it was a 3.86. That's a big gap. That's a really big gap. So
the defense betrayed him.
And that's because he's a ground ball pitcher, and obviously Glaber was not exactly at his best last year, so I'm shocked if that's part of what hurt him. So
what?
I think that I think that Monty is genuinely going to be
No
a number
way.
3 starter. I
No,
think
you did
so.
not.
Huh?
You did not just say
I
that
did.
he was not at his best defensively. Are you
I,
kidding me?
I went there.
You are
And my,
worse.
And I'm saying this for the
oh yeah,
analytic haters. Gio is a Gold Glove third baseman. Suck it.
yeah. I'm off with the defensive analytics there. I'm sorry. He's just to me. I have to
There's
go
no
off some
argument.
eye test. Like he's a great defender.
Like
I
if someone
just
could watch Gio for a full year and tell me that he is not a Gold Glove level defender, I would say you're nuts. I would
yeah.
genuinely have to call you nuts.
It's again. I think we've talked about this multiple times. There's a perfect mix between the advanced metrics and watching the games. Because I can look at my phone and tell you that Gio is an average third base defender, but I mean, if you watch the games, you see something totally different. Like he makes
Yeah.
great plays. It's just I disagree with that entirely. That he's
He
not a
was our
great defender.
defensive hero in the playoffs.
Yep.
He made so many great plays at third base in the postseason that saved us multiple
Hmm.
times. Like he's not just a good defender; he's a clutch defender, man. Like he
Yep.
doesn't get nervous in the big spots. He keeps his composure and he makes the plays he needs to make. So I am all in on Gio still. He is my guy, and I am pumped to see what he does this year, man. I'm really excited about this whole team. I mean, I don't look at
Yeah.
any spots and go, ugh. At least not me, at least. I mean,
Yeah.
the rotation excites me. The bullpen excites me with the additions of O'Day and Justin Wilson, and the lineup, as always, still excites the hell out of me. And I'm sure this
Hmm.
is going to excite Tom, but full season of Clint.
Clint.
Oh
Clint.
man.
Clint.
Oh,
I'm
you
on
want to
the
hear a good?
train now
You
too.
want to get a good Clint fact? You're going to like this one.
Yes.
Let's hear it.
All right, this one excites me a lot actually because it gives me more reason to believe him what we saw in 2020. I knew he walked a lot, but his walk percentage is 93rd percentile in all of baseball.
Clint.
Ooh.
93rd. That's
Clint.
really good, dude. Like I didn't believe that when I saw it, and of course we all know about the improving defense. I mean, his outs above average
Yep.
is 82nd percentile. He's
Clint.
Yep.
he's evolving, man. Your boy Clint.
Got to give Tom credit on this
Clint.
one. Me and
I will
Luke
give
were
it to
off the
Tom.
train. We
Yeah,
hopped
that's
off the
right.
train. Tom was the conductor. I mean, he never got off the Clint train.
Never.
He stuck by Clint the whole time. At one point, I was like,
I
he was a
did
great
too.
prospect, and we had a nice run, but it's over. But now, look where we are now. I mean, his defense drastically improved from 2019, where he was just dropping, easy fly balls. As we said, I think we said it before last season, it was like mental errors. Like, those are just not even like bad defender plays. Those are just like,
Yeah.
it got in your head. He got nominated for Gold Glove. How much you value a Gold Glove, I don't know. But it shows that he definitely improved his defense, and his bat was never a question. He's always been a good hitter, and now starting left fielder. Oh man, it's a great day for
It
Tom
really
and
is.
for
I
us.
mean, Clint is now my guy, just like Tom. And really, I'm looking at him and saying, I see a 30 plus home run bat. And I mean that. I
I
look at
agree.
him and if he plays a full season, I think that is guaranteed 30 home runs. You're looking at a very good defender now. And I believe those changes were real. I don't think it's a fluke at all. And I see a guy that's really going to help us throughout the whole year and the postseason, man. I mean, his tools are as good as they get, honestly. I mean, I always say this: you can't teach tools, and he's got
No.
them.
That's why I stuck with him.
And you know what? That's a valid point, and that's why I'm all in on some of our prospects like Luis Medina and Jason Dominguez, because I always say the same thing: you can't teach tools, and you
I
can't
mean,
teach a
think about it.
guy
Think about it.
to do that. You can't.
Think about it. You got the legendary bat speed mixed with he's a very strong person, big biceps, big guy, right? He's not
Yeah.
that tall, but he's muscular as shit. So you can tell that he's got pop, and he can run, and he can throw the shit out of the baseball.
That's
There's
pretty
not
good.
there's nothing on the baseball field that he can't do.
You know, it would be really fun if like we fast forward 2 or 3 years and we have an outfield of Dominguez in center, Frazier in left, and Judge in right.
No.
Standing at DH too.
That would be pretty lit. I'm not gonna lie.
It
That
would
gets
be.
me excited.
And then like probably gonna have like Hicksy as the fourth outfielder, which
And just want to
could,
say, I don't care about this, but did you guys see that video of Dominguez taking BP? That
yeah,
was
I
rough.
did. Where he
That
struck
was
out,
pretty
yeah.
rough.
Remember, first day of spring training. Let's calm
I know.
down.
I don't care. It's just funny, just because I saw some people shitting on him, and I was like, dude, it's a day of bad BP.
Yep.
God,
The heat is already starting.
I'm telling you, if he has a bad slump for just a week to start the year, fans will turn on him so
Yeah.
quick.
Who,
Like they will
Dominguez?
turn on him faster than we can imagine.
Dominguez, you're talking about?
Yes,
Yep.
they're
Oh,
gonna
no.
turn on him so quick.
3 strikeouts with the Pulaski Yankees, if we even still have them as an affiliate. I don't even know what's going on. There's been a lot of changes.
I lose track myself, honestly, man. I forget.
Whatever we're at now, Somerset, Tampa, wherever we're playing, if he has a 3 strikeout game, there's going to be a lot of hate coming. And it's just a Yankee thing. We have to overreact to something.
Yeah, I just remind yourself that he's 18 and like.
No, don't use logic.
Don't use logic, Tom. We don't do that here. We're not a
No.
We're not a logic podcast.
Yeah. Logic is nice in this case, because he's 18 years old, playing against professional baseball players.
No.
Let's cool it. Let's cool it.
I
He
gotta say something.
literally just turned 18.
I want to give you guys. I want to let you guys guess this. Who do you think is my most anticipated prospect right now, aside from Jason Dominguez?
Luis Medina.
Yeah, I was
Nope.
about to say him.
No.
Okay.
One more guess.
Oswald Peraza.
Two more guesses, actually. No, not him.
Austin Wells.
Oh yeah, baby. I'm
okay.
all in on Austin Wells. His college numbers were so good. He's looked really nice in spring training, and his swing.
Cincinnati. You want Austin Wells for Luis Castillo?
No. Even though I would make that trade, of course, but I'm saying no just because I'm currently in an Austin Wells phase, and I'm not trying to get out of that. So sorry, but Austin Wells, man, he has a Bryce Harper-esque swing to him, and that excites the hell out of me. Imagine that in the short porch, dude.
Especially because Bryce Harper is currently our left fielder after we signed him after 2018.
Oh, of course.
Also, fun fact, since you just said that, Austin Wells and Bryce Harper are both from Las Vegas, so,
Oh, yeah.
What is with
the
Vegas
similarities
baseball?
continue.
Vegas baseball produces a lot of MLB talent.
That's
Chris
my
Bryant,
point. That
Bryce
means
Harper.
that Austin Wells is going to pan out. Oh, yeah. It's happening. It's happening. It's happening.
Hashtag it's happening.
Is he going
I
to
wanna
break the streak of first-round picks? That no offense.
Oh,
but
please. I'm so sick and tired of first-round picks failing. I need one to pan out, and I really think it might be him because, I mean, the thing that excites me the most about him is he's a guy that's going to move very quickly. Like, very quickly. I honestly think that if he does well, at least, you could honestly see him at some point next year. And I mean that. I think.
Yeah,
I think
he's 21, so it's not like this is a high school kid, He's.
And I think Sanchez is going to play a big role on his timetable.
Mm-hmm.
So if we get a bad year from Gary and Wells, the question is, does he become an average defender or catcher? If he becomes just average, I think that he will have a spot next year if Gary struggles and he's gone. I really believe that.
Damn.
I mean, the kid's so advanced for his age, and in a bonus, he's very versatile. Like, he can play the outfield a little when he needs to. He can play first base. I mean, this ain't a regular catcher that's just stuck to one position, which is great.
Mm.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to get out the Austin Wells hype. I felt the need to. It's out there now. It's out there for the world.
Please break our streak. Austin, the first-round picks.
I'm actually excited for the draft this year. I heard it's super deep, so that would be nice to see us get a exciting pick for once that pans out. That'd be fun. Especially after a draft of like 4 or 5 picks only.
Knowing Gaiman Oppenheimer is going to take an undersized shortstop to freaking save some cash.
He's a good defender. He's a good defender, though, so.
I said this already. I'm calling it. Anthony Volpe's randomly going to break out this year. I'm telling you. I'm feeling it.
I hope so.
Anthony Siegler, I have no hope for, but I have hope for Volpe for some reason.
Yeah, we took back-to-back Anthony's.
Yeah, I was gonna say, the verdict could still be out on some of these guys, but not really loving Ziegler right now. Not a
But the
ton of
thing
faith.
is, like, I'm always a tools guy, and they just never had tools that excited me. But I just have with Volpe, I just have a feeling this kid has a really good work ethic. He has a good head on his shoulders, and I can just see him getting bigger, adding some power, and taking that next step. Because really, if he just becomes a good hitter, not a great hitter, with his defense and his general skills, I can see him becoming a very solid major league talent. And worst case, because he probably doesn't have a future here, he can just become a really good trade chip, and that's all I need out of him, quite honestly.
Yeah. Trade them all.
I was just thinking of Blake Rutherford too, who we traded. Yeah, I don't think he panned out for the White Sox either. Another first round pick.
Nope.
At least if we're gonna draft him early, let's get him out early. If they're not gonna pan out,
Yeah.
we got some value back for him.
How
But
does
yeah,
Damon Oppenheimer continue to miss?
you would think he would luck into something at one point, like
They lucked
at
into
some point
Aaron
get
Judge.
lucky. Yeah.
But was he there when we got Aaron Judge?
Yeah, he was there.
All right, so that's about it.
For
just
the prospect topic.
it's like, oh my god, don't even get me started. Just move on.
Moving on. All right. Well, another topic I suppose we can discuss would be the bullpen, because I'm feeling really good about it, and I'm actually so intrigued to see who gets the last 2 to 3 spots. I mean, right now we have Chapman, we have Britton, we have Green, we have O'Day, we have Wilson, definitely Sessa, I would say, but I expect to have an 8-man pen. So, I mean, you're probably looking at least an 8-man pen. I mean, probably I wouldn't be shocked if we have 9, honestly, but who do you think fills out those last few spots?
Weisiga is gonna be there for sure.
Okay.
And then probably I wouldn't be surprised if Warren made it, or if they didn't want to get rid of Abreu. He has no options left, so you may stash Abreu on that last spot. So those are the two that I think. Barraclaw is also a dark horse to make it as well.
Okay.
Boom. I'm smart.
See. Well, we lost basically Clark Schmidt out of any sort of roster conversation now.
Yeah, he died.
Because of his injury, so it's not going to be him. All right, well, let's think of Chapman, Britton. Obviously, those guys are locks.
Yep.
Michael King, I don't know. I mean,
King could make it.
He's starting.
Yeah,
He's starting the first
King
game. Yeah, I mean, starting tomorrow. Let's see how he looks. I'm not a huge King guy. He had that big season in the minors, but you never know. King is solid. Weisiga, hopefully he got over his fear, and I mean he came in the most clutch situation last season, so hopefully he gained some confidence off that. But yeah, again, I've said it a ton. I like his stuff a lot. He hasn't really panned out, and he's not going to be a starter because he had those injury issues. But I always thought he had good stuff, so I'm rooting for him to get a spot in the bullpen. Hopefully he looks good in the spring. Yeah. Is there anyone else I'm forgetting? Any guys? Fairclough, you said. I mean, me too.
If it were up to me, I would go probably with Barraclaw as one of those last 3, or 2 to 3, depending. I would also go with I'd honestly go Nick Nelson. I know they're trying to stretch him out, and if anything, that's more reason for him to make the roster, because he can be a long reliever out of the pen anyway. And if he really shows that kind of upside where he can be more than that, and you can adjust as the season moves on and get someone else to be the long man. Because I mean, they got Chacin, they got Michael King, of course. I mean, they have a lot of guys that can play.
I forgot about him. I forgot about Chacin.
Oh yeah, Chacin. And honestly, although I don't
you
expect
never
it,
forget about Julius Chacin.
I know. You know what? He was in the back of my mind. I would never let him escape. I love Chacin.
Domingo Germán can still make the roster. I mean, I'm not gonna say he is, but But he can make the bullpen, honestly, if he looked good enough. I mean, I wouldn't rule it out if I'm being honest. But I guess we're gonna have to wait and see. But they have a lot of options there, and I wouldn't be shocked any of them, quite honestly. They all make a lot of sense to me for different reasons.
Baseball.
Yeah.
Yeah, and really, I don't see a lot of them sticking in the bullpen long term. Like, I think a lot of those guys are just going to go in and out on the
Scranton
old
Shuttle.
fashioned. Yeah, Scranton Shuttle. I was going to say
Or,
Scranton Shuttle.
yeah. Mhm.
For
By
sure.
the time this season ends, their arms are going to be jello.
Oh, absolutely. And I don't mind that. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Scranton
Throw
Shuttle
3
arms.
innings and then get sent back to Scranton for a fresh arm.
Yeah. I mean, I'm excited to see who else potentially breaks out this year. I have a feeling there's going to be a couple breakout guys. I mean, I'm still all in on Nick Nelson. Like I said, I have a good feeling about him. The Yankees do as well. Yankees apparently love him, according to Dan Frederico and a couple other people that have got insight on the Yankees farm system. So, I mean, if one reliever breaks out, I think we might have the best bullpen in baseball, honestly. I think it'll at least be a topic of discussion at that point, right?
Yeah, definitely, because Britton Green Chapman is just a three-headed monster, and
Yeah.
then obviously Wilson's been very consistent for a long time. We know what you're getting with Justin Wilson, and
Same with
Darren O'Day is no slouch either. He doesn't throw hard, but he's made it work for a long time. So you've got 5 guys there that are going to be at least okay, and then it's just about filling it out with like kind of those last few guys. Sessa's okay as well. So
Yeah,
you got
people forget about Sessa, man. He's not a bad pitcher at all.
no, he's fine.
Yeah.
He's fine. He's not someone I want like in high leverage, but like
No.
he can give you innings, and he's perfectly fine. And yeah, I mean you're just looking for about 2 more spots to round out the bullpen. And I think Loizaga gets one of those.
I'm still so
Shout
pissed
out
about the
Cashman,
Yankees
by the way.
misusing Sessa, man. I'm still so pissed about that last year in the playoffs. They
Yeah.
kept using him in the ninth inning for no reason, and then when we needed someone the next day, nope, unavailable.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Shit drove me nuts.
Yeah, they put more trust into Loizaga than they did Sessa, and like you
Yeah,
have to
that
earn,
was a bad decision.
you have to earn that trust, man. Loizaga has never earned that trust. No offense, but like he pitches,
You're right.
You're right.
he looks scared, when he pitches. He does. He really, I'm on that a lot. He really does have some of the worst body language in baseball. Just like it's like he not only does he look young, he looks scared. He looks like he doesn't belong in the league. He looks like he belongs in like a high school league or some shit.
It's
like,
so bizarre because like his hard hit percentage and exit velocity is actually elite, which is crazy to say, but like he doesn't
to like.
Like there is, the peripherals are pretty good, but when you look at it like expected batting average, expected ERA, it's all bad. But when it comes to just giving up hard contact and having good stuff, and even walk percentage, it's 70th percentile. I mean,
pitch is scared.
I just don't get it. It's like the results are there, but the results aren't there.
Yeah, it's hard to kind of quantify why this guy, is what he is such an anomaly. He's just like it. I can't even like explain it. It's like he'll have outings where he looks great. He'll have outings where he looks terrible. And there's not really an in between.
Just looking at the numbers, I mean, his whip was actually better than Cessa's in 2020, and he had a 3.52 ERA, which is not bad at all. And he nearly had 9 Ks per 9 innings on average. I mean, he just fell shy of that. So I mean, he has the stuff to be good. I just don't trust him in high leverage situations at all. That's the thing, because he seemed to have technically got it done during the regular season, but in the playoffs, I just never felt comfortable remotely when he was on the mound. I mean, like if that guy was warming up, I was gonna shit myself. It's like when Mike Ford came to pinch hit, like same feeling.
He just
I still can't believe that.
He doesn't have
Never forget.
He doesn't have like that it factor. I know that you can't quantify that in like an analytic.
You know who has that? Davey Garcia has that.
Yeah, it's like or like Chad Green even. Chad Green comes in, he like has zero emotion.
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah, I'm just gonna throw this fastball by you guys. Sorry.
Good
Uh,
luck.
Good luck. But like the Loizaga, it's always just like he's throwing these two seamers into the righties, and it's just like it's pretty much the same. He doesn't look right usually. He doesn't like look. He doesn't have that look, in my opinion, that he's gonna, you know, blow three fastballs by you and give you a death stare.
And he has the stuff to do that. The guy throws 100.
Yeah, he's incredibly frustrating because the stuff is there. Like I can see why the Yankees don't want to give up on him because there's a lot to like there, in terms of stuff. But like it just we're waiting for that breakout, and until he improves his presence, in my opinion, I don't think we're gonna get it. I don't think he's someone that batters are necessarily afraid of. Just just I don't know. It's like it's not even like a baseball thing. It's more of just like a mental thing for me.
Yeah, I probably agree with that.
Just like he looks scared. Stop looking scared. Don't be scared. You throw 100, buddy. I mean, you don't find guys that are his height that throw as hard as he does usually.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not that big.
Need some
He's not that
lessons
big
from
of a guy.
Kluber on emotion and body language.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
got like his spin rates are good too, right? His spin
Yeah,
rates are
they're,
good.
they're not elite, but they're good.
Yeah, I mean, like you throw a high spin fastball. I mean, that high velocity, high spin fastball. I mean,
It's at least above average. It's 67th percentile, which is a little above average, but his curve spin is 75th. So I mean, he has good stuff with good velocity.
yeah, and I think maybe figuring out maybe it's a pitch mix issue. Maybe he needs to throw more of one pitch and less of another. I think this is a big. I think the Loizaga is like the ultimate project for Matt Blake. It's like, Matt, we brought you in here because you are an expert in these new school pitching development ways. Help us develop Jonathan Loizaga into a good reliever, into a bona fide star reliever, because he does have that potential. I wouldn't give up on him. I know I just took a shit on his body language, but I wouldn't give up on him. Not yet, at least. I mean, this guy has all the potential in the world to really do something.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that. Actually, something funny that I just saw. I think this is kind of cruel. Austin Wells, he just had to face Aroldis Chapman and Zach Britton as a lefty.
Oh no!
That's so unfair. Why do that to the kid? Why do that to the kid?
I think they just did that for Chapman and Britton to get their confidence up.
Do we know
the
results of those at bats?
I don't actually. I just see a video
of
it.
I see. He struck out against Chapman. Okay, I don't blame him. And hit a grounder up the middle for Britton.
Oh, really?
We'll take it. We'll take it.
I'll take that.
Okay, Chapman lefty on lefty is very tough at bat for everyone except
Chapman righty on lefty is also incredibly tough at bat. You usually don't hit that guy. He's incredibly hard. And he's got a splitter now.
Yeah. I'll say this. Chapman's splitter actually excites the hell out of me, going to be honest, because he's the kind of guy, the one thing I got to respect him for, he's not just being stubborn and saying, I have the stuff to be good until I'm in my late 30s, so I'm going to stick with it. No, he's trying to improve still because he knows the velocity is going down a bit. So he understands that there are ways he can still improve, and that's one of them. And I respect that a lot because his splitter was actually, the few times we saw it, it was so nasty. Like, if he can actually control that and use it in the right spots, I mean, he can probably take his game to the next level from what we saw last year, honestly, because imagine being at the plate and you're thinking, okay, he's going to throw a fastball, a changeup, and now you have the splitter in the mix. That's going to really mess with you as a hitter.
Yeah, fastball, slider, splitter. That is very exciting. The velocity, it's still really good, obviously. I mean, like his worst velocity is better than pretty much every
most
other
people's
pitcher's
best.
Yeah, so it's like even as it's going down a few ticks, he's still throwing absolute gas. Yeah. It's funny.
His velocity, guess what percentile it is still?
still in the 95th probably.
Yeah, I was gonna say high 90s.
99th.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, wow.
It's just
Yeah.
Come on, he's throwing harder than everybody still, and really, just looking at his peripherals. Oh my, actually, that was 2019. He doesn't have one for 2020. Huh.
Probably,
that's weird.
remember he had COVID and he got hurt, so he probably
True.
didn't log.
I guess he didn't pitch enough.
Yeah, he didn't log enough innings.
But even so,
yeah.
I'm sure it was still close. So
it was
definitely 90s still.
He was still throwing gas.
Yeah.
So
I wouldn't doubt that at all.
So speaking of pitchers throwing gas, Luis Severino is feeling good. He's going to get back on the mound. If everything goes well next week, he's going to get on the mound. So
yeah, we briefly went over that, but I mean, really, with him, like I said earlier in the show, I still consider him that X factor, because if he is just close to what he should be, the Yankees rotation is going to kick everybody's ass in the American League, and it wouldn't be close. It really would not be close. The only team in baseball that would match up at all are some of the NL beasts, like the Dodgers and maybe the Padres, but even if things really went right for us, we can even match with them. But that's if things really, really went well. Like it would take Severino to do good, and at least one of Kluber and Tyone to make it. And then if that happened, then I would say we can compete with any rotation in baseball.
Yeah, I mean, let's think of just the absolute perfect scenario. Just
don't do that. Don't get me that excited.
Cole's having a Cy Young year, right? You got Tyone's repeating his 2018. Kluber has turned back the clock. He's pitching like Corey Kluber. And you add in Severino, who doesn't look like he missed a day after Tommy John, and he's like full on Sevy. Like who's starting the second game? Who's starting the third game? Who's starting the fourth? I mean, that's just a fun thought.
Would be in reserve as your 5, and he's probably gonna have an ERA in the mid to high 3s if I had to guess. So that's a pretty good 5th starter, dude.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck? It's like, wow.
Imagine in a perfect scenario, honestly, Kluber would probably, if all that were to happen, he'd probably be your number 4, because Severino has that better stuff and higher upside, and so does Tyone. So technically, Kluber could potentially be your number 4 starter. Just saying that out loud sounds so silly, but in a perfect world, that would happen.
That's pretty. I just wanted to think of the best possible scenario.
And I'm going to be honest. I think it's very reasonable to expect one of Kluber and Tyone to work out. I think that's very reasonable to think.
We deserve that.
And then Severino, I mean, again, you don't need to have perfect Luis Severino. You just need 70 to 75% of him. And I think coming back from Tommy John, with his stuff, he can be that. So, I mean, is it really crazy to think that the Yankees could have a top 2 to 3 rotation in baseball? I really don't think it is that crazy.
Yeah, it's just about, the question marks being answered favorably.
And we didn't even talk about the potential of a guy like Davy Garcia breaking out.
Exactly. So,
that could very easily happen too.
Yeah, exactly. And you can't rule out Clark either.
There's a lot of factors in there. I mean, Clark said his velocity has never been higher before, and he compared his elbow injury to tennis elbow. So, I mean, you're talking something very insignificant. So, really, I don't see this slowing him down too much.
It's more of an annoyance than it is
it's an annoyance.
A concern. It's and
we got to remember, this ain't a 60-game season. This is 162. He's got a lot of time to heal up.
Yeah.
This ain't like last year, so I'm not worried.
Exactly. Just build him up, and and then he'll be going. Yeah, I wasn't really expecting him to pitch in April for the Yankees anyway, so he can get his little spring training done, and then he can join the AAA team. And whenever we need a starter, he is an option. He is on the 40-man. So we don't even have to worry about playing that 40-man game that the Yankees love to worry about. So it feels like, everyone's here, if that makes sense. Like everyone's ready to contribute.
Yeah.
I like baseball.
Me too.
Is there any other topic? I mean, we made some signings. I mean, we brought Gardner back like we said, we brought in like Chirinos and Dietrich.
Oh yeah, Chirinos.
And there's going to be a big crunch, and it's very exciting. I really like the Chirinos signing because like we needed a third catcher because Kraft retired. So like
That's a big loss.
That's a pretty.
I'm actually gonna miss Kraft. I'm not gonna
Me
lie.
too.
Well, I mean, like, it's inevitable that like one of Gary or Higgy will get banged up. So you're gonna need a third catcher, and because of Kraft's retirement, we didn't have a third catcher who was major league ready. So now you bring in Chirinos, and you got a third catcher who isn't far removed from being one of the better catchers in baseball.
Dude, you're absolutely right. I think that's a genius signing for the Yankees, if I'm being honest. And I have an interesting question for you, actually. With Gary Sanchez, what do you think his rope is going to look like? Do you think it's a month? 2 months? I mean, I honestly don't know.
I would give him about 2 months. I think like if he's not picking it up by like June 1st, we have an issue.
Yeah, if he's looking anything like he did in 2020, come June 1st, he's done. I don't want to see him start ever again
and
at that point.
Another thing is if he has issues with Cole and when he's catching, which I'm not really sold on that being a total issue.
Me neither.
If it recurs, then I start to question what's going on there. I don't think it'll happen again, but I'm looking out for that too. And then, I mean, if he's like abysmal hitting and like just like last year, where he just like looks clueless, like even if he's not getting results and he looks like he's showing some promise spot, but what last year is like, I don't know how much longer like I could take of that. Like, at what point do you realize when do we draw the line?
Here's the thing. I think with Gary, I think we also have to use a bit of the eye test when we watch, his at bats because like what happens because he does have a history of being incredibly unlucky. Like there are times where he will smoke a ball and it's just right at people, and he does that for like 2 weeks straight, and that happened in 2019. I remember that. So like we do have to use the eye test. It's all about, well, if Gary looks like last year's Gary where he can't hit a fastball, then you think about replacing him. But if he looks like 2019 Gary where he's smoking everything and it's just being caught, then you just say, okay, we expect that to even out.
Yeah.
I'm smart.
Smart indeed. Do we have any other topics of discussion?
Did we talk about Gleyber's defense?
Yes, we did.
Okay, I expect that to be good. I don't know if I said that before, but now we did. Tomorrow's game, my King, and then but the more exciting game is on Monday when Tyon and Cole are gonna go back to back. They're gonna.
There's a slight chance I'm gonna miss tomorrow's game, but I'm not. Monday I'm totally free, so I know I get to watch the good game at least. So I'm pretty happy about that.
And I released my Gary video on Monday.
Oh boy.
Boom. So I'm very excited about that.
Minor announcement. The score bug for the Yes Network changed this year. I just seen that. So.
Yes.
Wait, what?
They changed the score bug.
Yeah.
Wow. To what?
Apparently it changes once every 5 years. I saw that on Twitter from Dan Rourke. Here, I'll send it to you guys right now if you want to take a look. I like the original, not the original one, but the one from, not the one we had last season, but I would say like 5 years ago, like the 2015 one.
Nothing beats the 2009 one.
Yeah,
I get used to all of them. But like the first week or so, it bothers me so much.
Right. It's like, whoa.
And then I'm like, what is this? But now, like, this one I got used to. When they first changed it, I was like, the hell is this? And then now I'm used to it, and now I have to adjust to something new. But you know what? I'll get used to it. My initial reaction is not great, but I'll warm up.
Yeah, we'll warm up to it. I mean, I have much bigger Yankee issues I got to think about than the score.
Oh yeah, definitely.
We'll see.
Oh, fans!
Hopefully that's our biggest issue this season.
Yeah,
is the score bug.
And yes, fans in the stand, which will be nice. Yeah. We really need some fans in 2021. It'll help the players out, and of course, the fans deserve to see these guys back in the stadium again. So I'm pumped to see this for everybody involved. So hopefully that helps the Yankees play to an even higher level, man, because the reality is fans take competitiveness to a whole other sector that I can't even imagine. So the thought of the playoffs again with like 50+% capacity, fans screaming in Yankee Stadium, it's pretty exciting. I can't even lie about that. It's pretty awesome to imagine right now.
Yes. The chase for 28 begins tomorrow. I'm very excited. Baseball is back.
I can't wait till we get our opening day Michael K monologue. That's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
Just
I like that,
we're only just about a month away from opening day. Only a month.
It'll go quick now because we have games. You know?
How many days are in March? 31.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess so.
All right. So
That's Jack.
Tomorrow's the 28th. So a month and 3 days from tomorrow is opening day. So bang.
Well, guys, this has been fun as always. Do you have anything else you want to say before we wrap this up?
Let's go Yankees.
Go, yes. Chase for 28 begins. Let's go.
Indeed, it does. Chase for 28. I'm pumped and I'm ready. All right, guys, this has been awesome as always. But until next time, this has been another great episode of the Yankee Center podcast. See you, everybody.
Peace.
Peace.